Alright everyone, it's time for Styx Hexenhammer Vents for a change time because usually I'm listening to other people's problems and talking about more the world's problems, like politically, news related, like here's a war, or there's socialism, all sorts of bullshit that goes on in the world. But I've got problems too. As you may have noticed over the last week, my my appearance has been a little bit different. Maybe my attitude as well. Maybe not quite so vigorous and upbeat as usual. There's a major reason for that, and some minor reasons too. The major reason is interpersonal. I'm not going to get into it as far as like explaining more. I can't. I literally, here's the frustrating thing, I literally cannot explain anything more. The situation that it's in has to remain confidential by the will of another individual, as well as mine, so I can't elaborate any further, and that's, the lack of communication in the situation is worse than anything else. Not knowing quite where things stand, to an Aquarian especially, unknown quantities are way, way more stressful, way, way more sad, way, way more fearful than any known quantity. Like, oh, I'm going to walk into a room and get attacked by a bear. At least I know what's going to attack me. I can kind of plan around it. But, you walk into a room, maybe you're attacked by something, maybe you're not. Well, it could be, a gargoyle or something. How do you prepare for it? You don't even know if there's something to prepare for. So right now I'm in an odd situation in my life where it feels like my future has been severed, if that makes sense. Like it's been totally erased. I don't know whether it's an illusion or not, so to speak. It's difficult, very difficult. And it doesn't help right now. There are compounding factors. Like spring refuses to come. Things are a little bit easier when it's, sunny and warm as opposed to there being fucking 6 inches of snow. And it's a week out from April. We've still got half a foot of snow. That's not normal. Not even for Vermont. This is northern New England. I realize it's supposed to be cold. I mean, it's like fucking the Upper Lakes region or something, but I mean, come on. Everyone else, they're like, oh yeah, I just planted my tomatoes. It's like some from Massachusetts. They're like, yeah, the crocuses are coming up, the cherry trees are blossoming. I'm like, well, you're not that far away. You're only like 100 miles south of us. What gives? I don't understand it. Here it's like you can tell that the trees want to blossom and they just don't dare to. They're like, yeah, I'm going to sleep in for another week. Little hibernation. So that's sad. And then YouTube, of course, getting all fucked up and wonky, affecting especially channels like mine that happen to be, because I don't do the live thing and I rely upon making multiple very distinct uploads for searchability on single topics. Channels like mine over the last week, which is coincidentally the exact same time frame as my main problem, have been really hammered. And this has happened to a lot of channels, especially smaller ones. It's happened to mine. It's recovering now, but it's been a problem. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. What I really want to do is just flee from the situation. And by the way, before anyone worries, no, I do not mean harming myself. I posted suicidal tendencies by Biggie the other day. Had to take it down because people kept DMing me on Twitter. Oh my God, don't do it, man. I'm like, you don't understand. It's just sort of my mood at the time, but I would never actually do that. I got too much work to do. But it's like, all that work, it's brought all of this success. I'm selling, there are days when I sell like 200 paperback books. It's a huge amount of money and it's an extreme confidence boost. I mean, that's no problem. I'm reaching an audience of hundreds of thousands of people every single day across the entire world, multi-platform. I'm one of the biggest names of alt tech at this point. I'm still the main user on BitChute, the largest user there. I'm one of the largest people on Minds or on Gab. I'm on the cutting edge of activism, and that's why I can't, just end it or walk away from what I'm doing. I believe that my literature is inspired by spiritual forces. I believe that very literally. I believe totally in the occult. I believe that the political work that I do, the activism, trying to change people's minds and trying to promote liberty, I believe is a good thing for the world. It is necessary. There are few people that are capable of having the stamina to do what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, and so I can't stop. But there is a part of me that wishes more than anything that I wasn't the one chosen for these things, in other words. I sort of wish that I could just give it up and wander off into a cave. Now, it is possible that fairly soon I'm going to be taking a fairly lengthy vacation. But, my vacations, because I'm such a workaholic, my idea of a vacation is, okay, I only made 2 videos today. Or maybe I went one day without making them, and then the next day I made double, or did a live stream, or I edited, extra books. My idea of an off day is like I only edit 30 or 40 pages of literary content on that end. or I only made 3 videos. Or I made like 2 occult literature updates, so they're more short, and so I consider that like a day off. That's basic. I mean, I'm a fucking workhorse. I do realize that, and it keeps me busy, and that helps. And making yourself unbusy, like most people, you know, they're like sad, they're depressed, or they just feel like, you know, overwhelmed or something. They go on vacation, don't do anything. Oh, that's way more stressful to me. I don't understand how people can do that. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna put on the tiki torches and sit there sipping margaritas by the seaside. It's gonna be lovely. I'm gonna spend 2 weeks in the Caribbean. Jesus Christ, that sounds so fucking boring. I can't even fathom it. But this personal interaction in my life has really drained me. It's like, and I'm not being emo or like, you know, weird when I say this. When I got up this morning, now keep in mind I usually shower at night, and so I've washed, you know, the makeup that I wear off. I am using basically a light-toned sort of, I don't know what you call it. I don't even know what you call it. I don't know anything about makeup except I can kind of apply it myself and it looks okay. And it makes me look more pale. But it had all been washed off, and when I got up in the morning and looked in the mirror, actually, like first thing, you brush your teeth and hair and shit, I realized that I still looked almost as pale without it. That could possibly be the fact that I haven't really slept for the last week. I admit, and I don't want to disappoint anyone by this, I know that I need to quit drinking, and I had until this happened. Yeah, sorry, I fell off the wagon because the only way I can sleep is to knock myself out with huge amounts of wine. Yeah, it is. It's pretty bad. You know, I sort of pass out for 4 or 5 hours and then wake up and lay in bed for several more, not being able to sleep. And some people would say, well, oh, it's the drinking's fault. No, it's really not, because I had been drinking for a long time, never had those sleep, right? It's stress related. It could have something to do with the fact that I haven't really eaten that much for the last week. I'm not even going to get it. Well, okay, for example, yesterday I had, well, I don't think I ate anything yesterday, actually. You know, quite a revelation. But yeah, I feel a little bit crippled inside. You know, life goes on. There's no choice involved in that fact. But like I said in my prior video, there are some things that just don't feel better. It doesn't matter how long, you won't forget them. So yeah, I feel a little bit overwhelmed lately. I do want to take a vacation. I can't wait much longer for that. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to stop doing what I do. It's like some YouTubers are like, oh my god, it's so hard being a YouTuber, man. Oh, editing this video. I had to stream for an hour this weekend and stuff. It's like bullshit. It's not, the work involved in being a YouTuber is not hard. You fucking moron. It's the easiest job. You're lucky that you can do it. The only hard part about it is making sure that you can actually find content that's interesting enough to supply an interesting thing to the audience. You know, like in news, it's like some days, you know, there's not that much going on. You sort of have to scrape the bottom of the barrel, or like the occult or something. I run out of ideas for that particular line of material sometimes. But as far as sitting there on the fucking cry me a river, dude, oh my god, you had to hook up your laptop and do what you do anyway. And then get a bunch of people saying that you're great. Totally hard, dude. No, it's not the way that it works. There are other hard things in your life maybe that are overwhelming you. Maybe you should vent to your audience about it. Maybe you'll feel a little bit better. And I intend to take full advantage of the fact that I can do that. It's a fringe benefit to have like 100,000 psychotherapists out there to give advice. It's pretty cool, actually, to tell the truth. But yeah, if I seem under the weather, if I'm doing depressive shit or something, yeah, fucking, don't judge me too much. That's about all. Peace out.